Uh, hello. Hello. Uh, Before I start, I want to introduce myself. My name is Ji-woong Song, and I am currently working as a Web2 front-end engineer. And I am kind of new to Web3, and I am kind of a newbie to Hackathon also. And it is very delightful to stand here and present my product to everyone. Thank you. Thank you. And before we start, may I present my proof of concept video. Could you please turn on the video? So this is my proof of concept video for my tool. This product is to help developers migrate data from AWS S3 to BNB Greenfield. Before starting, we need three datas. First, AWS access key, second, private key, and then MetaMask or crypto wallet private key. So this is intended to be a CLI, which means command line interface tool. So before starting, we will start by cloning our repository. So we will make a temporary directory, and then we will move to the directory and we will clone the EZMigrator Git. The EZMigrator is consisted of Python codes. So before we start building, we need to install the requirements. And the requirements are listed on the requirements.txt. So after we install the requirements, then we can finally start running. Before we start running, in the BNB Greenfield, there is no bucket right now. You see, it's clear, but after we execute the program, then we will see some data and buckets in there. And when we start the program, the welcome EZMigrator screen will welcome you. And they will ask about your AWS access key ID and secret access key ID. And then it will ask your private key for your crypto wallet. We need this. We need the private key because the BNB Greenfield is consisted of blockchain, and you need to sign your data to access the BNB Greenfield. And then you will be asked other questions like what kind of storage provider you would like to choose to store your data. And we will also suggest some kind of bucket name for you. And then when every configuration is done, the program will automatically download data from S3, and there we go. We see the bucket. There was no bucket, but after we execute the program, there is a bucket. And then we will download the file from the S3 by the data we provided, and then we will upload the downloaded files to the BNB Greenfield. And then there we can see the data stored inside the bucket. So thank you for watching, and we will start with our presentation again. So for starting, I will like to tell you what I am going to present about. First, I will going to introduce what I built, and second, I will tell you about the key features. And I will tell you about how I designed this product to be developer friendly. And four, I will tell you about what kind of problems I've met. And then I will tell you about what I will do for further development and improvements. So, to introduce, this project name is EZMigrate because I wanted to sound like migrating from another database to database is easy. So this is the GitHub readme.md file for my project, and it has also the MIT license. It means that I want everyone to join and fix and develop and build all together. And for the key features of this project, I think the key feature is the storage. in S3, people save data in a bucket. And also in BNB Greenfield, there is a bucket. So we have the same bucket features, and when BNB, the data is stored in blockchain, so it is same, but kind of different. It is decentralized, other like the S3 bucket. And then we also focused on the data integrity. So the data on S3 must be same to the data uploaded to BNB Greenfield. So when same file is being transferred, then it is granted that it is the same file. And what I focused on also was to be friendly with the developers. As a developer myself, I think that developers like documentation. We need documentation, so with also readme.md on my GitHub project, I also included a Git book. I also made a Git book for the developers, so the developers can look at how I thought and how I made this project, and how I written this code, and what kind of problems I had. This Git book is also included in my readme.md. And then, for the user experience, I also implemented the just executed plan. It means that user don't have to do anything, or user don't have to have any prerequisites. They just have the data, they execute the program, and the program will ask the data they need, such as AWS credentials and your private key to your wallet, and also it will ask about what kind of bucket you want to migrate from. It is all from the program. The user don't have to have any prerequisites or pre-knowledge. And I got lots of problems when I was building, such as having a RPC errors, or the run command errors that about sealing the blockchain. Those errors I met, I was trying to solve it by making lots of test codes using the PyTest framework and the mock AWS services framework. And using those frameworks and libraries, I've implemented lots of Python unit test codes, so I can make lots of tests and make the code is good. And then to make the code more clear, I have separated the operation part of the code and the functioning part of the code into other code pieces, into other Python files, so developers, including me, can interpret and understand it better. And for the further development, I think there is a problem in program speed. So I think I might improve some program speed, and then I need to make more test codes. And I would follow up with Greenfield, because Greenfield does not have the AWS specific features like CORS, the cross-origin system. So maybe I will update my program when BNB Greenfield updates a new feature, such as cross-origin system. And then I will report more RPC errors about the Greenfield, because I cannot solve the RPC error by myself. So by cooperating with BNB Greenfield engineers and me, then I think I can do a better job in introducing Web2 developers like me into a Web3 world. And thank you. That is all for me. And are there any questions?
All right, thank you very much. All right, time for questions from the audience. We probably have time for one question. I know there's so many people curious. Okay, we've got one question, I think. Back over here. You have a question as well. Okay, whoever has the microphone.
No, you go first.
Okay, over here.
들리나요? Are there any apps that inspired or reference app you? Inspired you app?
Oh, you mean that what reference I used to make my product?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I used the BNB Greenfield command line interface GitHub that I found on BNB Greenfield documentation.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have one more question? Was there one more? Yeah, go ahead. We got 13 seconds left.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your impressive presentation. I'm a data engineer, so I am curious that is there any incentive for engineers to move on to Greenfield in spite of those kind of technical hurdles from S3?
From right now, I think there might be no incentive because we are still developing on the BNB Greenfield, and there are such errors such as the blockchain error or RPC error right now. So right now there are no incentives, but I think that there will be incentives after when we catch lots of bugs in BNB Greenfield, because I think BNB Greenfield's decentralized storage system will make users to have data by themselves, not to AWS kind of big company. The users can own their own data. So I think that might be the incentive in using BNB Greenfield after we catch lots of errors. Thank you.
All right, let's give one more round of applause to EZMigrate.
Thank you very much.
Moving on.